Be calling you a radical. Lost in the fog on Balco. So important, so historic. What's going on today? Remember, sending off with the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate told us it would take 50 years to decommission a nuclear reactor, multi-hundreds of millions and billions. Well, the people in front of me, the activists that taught me, they got one thing right. They made them put that money aside, put it in on things. So they've come out on the decommission of San Onofre, said we are decades ahead of schedule. We're way under budget. We have enough money. So enough money was set aside. In fact, we're going to be giving a refund. Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate is not happy. They're lies. They're lies. So lost in the fog. Remember that racehorse? Oh, he died of cancer. So they're going to start doing the mastectomy on Dolly Parton there and bring in the waste to Utah. Of course, John Huntsman, I'm a billionaire. Now you think about this. John Huntsman, the billionaire, you heard me, multi-billionaire, one of the richest men in the world. His dad's dead of cancer. You know, Huntsman, cancer. To Kevin Blash, show me the evidence. Now, I want you to think about this. This is the, right to my face, look it up. This is the guy who, I collected the data on the 8/8 nuclear disaster in Russia. Told me right to my face, from within inches to my face. He knows me. He is the ambassador in Russia. He is the ambassador in China, who handled this dirty Herbie, the worst governor in the history of the state, on a silver platter, who let the nuclear waste in here, who let the San Onofre generator, which is hot. They had an accident 8 years ago, almost today. Same day as the Bear River Massacre, same day as my grandfather arrived in San Diego at Old Town, the Mormon Battalion. Lost in the fog. So I'm going to have a party down there and celebrate. I turned 60 this year anyway, so I want to do it at NUKE's. Everybody says do it in San Clemente. I'm doing it in San Diego County. Somebody says do it halfway at Orange at Ocean. I'm going to do it in San Diego, my place, PB, because without me, it never shuts down. I want people to understand how paramount the shutdown of San Onofre is. That's what toppled them. I stood right there, and says, Cubs win, Cubs win, Cubs win. You don't get what I get. You think it's economics? If it was economics, they would have been shut down decades ago. They would have never opened it. You think it was natural? Oh, no. Oh, no. Natural gas took them down. In California? I don't think so. They'd never shut these down. They find another way to loot. Ask Status King Cuomo in New York. They always find another way to keep them open. But they're afraid of one thing. They're afraid of prison. And they knew I had the goods on them. They knew those guys inside the reactor. I was inside the bone marrow transplant center, full of cancer. What by timing for them? Those guys inside the nuclear reactor are still anonymous. I'm the only one that knows who they are. Maybe, I think Gary Hedrick might know. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, everybody who fought this. Thank you to the activists in front of me who did all this fucking work, who are dead, and you get to see this. This is the greatest accomplishment in probably environmentalism, activism history. Ever. Not my words, that's Frida Meisenblaut's words to me. You go ask Pravad on the free 200 amps for water in Vienna, Austria, the greatest anti-nuclear activist who ever lived. Pravad said when the interview was set up, she's the one that arranged it at her apartment. I'm a little worried about my English, blah, 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 with Kevin. I got in there, it was supposed to be a 15-minute interview, a visit. Ask Pravad. He says she went like a steel trap. We were in there for 3.5 hours. She grilled me like no other. She was full of cancer. She didn't tell anybody. She knew she was passing the spear. She told me, you're the tip of the spear. What you did to San Onofre, whatever, she knew the story. She says, you're it. She died right after that. Nobody, she didn't tell anybody she was dying for 88 holy Moses. They leaked that stuff to me inside the bone marrow transplant LDS. So you Google it, you got me with a central line hanging on my jugular in a bone marrow transplant center at East 8 LDS, standing over the top of Steckner's old classroom. This is the greatest accomplishment in my life. No, that'd be raising my children and my grandchildren and not getting killed by these CIA fucking pro-nuclear fucking slanderous fucking rats who tried to fucking murder me along this fucking path. This is the greatest accomplishment in environmental in history. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Kathy Iwan, Japan. She did so much work on this. Came back to Fukushima. Kevin, it was your videos. Thank you to Rachel Kadoyo. Thank you. Over there. They were in Japan. Married to Japanese men. She came home. She lobbied, Kathy. You know, I remember the day that we got it through because the activist that come in front of me says, no, the school teachers get a vote. And she lobbied. She's a school teacher. She was in Fukushima. She says, Kevin, it was your videos. That's all we got inside Japan before the States, and they took them down. Amazing fucking story. Incredible accomplishment. Lost in the fog, and not me. I fucking telling you, thank you to everybody. I'll start to cry. I've been fighting that since I was a little boy. My dad didn't get to see it done. You know, a lot of these beautiful activists. You know, Donna Young and Dale Gilmore, but I'm talking old Donna. She died 2 years ago. She's the one that used to really, I mean, she made my San Onofre shirt, you know what the thing? That's her who designed, she's dead and gone. You're last of the Mohicans, Kevin Blanche. You're the last of the old school activists. Yeah. I've said it for years, as San Onofre goes, the nuclear cartel's going. What an accomplishment. Remember, so I met close, they closed on D-Day, remember? My post-Dickinson Army is going to hit the beach on D-Day. They knew I had to go. They were afraid of jail. Don't believe me? Go ask Kamala Harris. How do you think I got all that political cover, forwarding all that stuff from inside? Jerry Brown's a criminal derelict. She raided their house. PV and Cherry, written hand goods dividing up. They were cheating on the reactor. I caught them. We caught them because those people were leaking to me. They were cheating on the exchange, saving themselves $100 million, and by the way, they vented nuclear waste all over you in San Clemente. They were afraid of prison. They're afraid of Kamala, whose mother was the epidemiologist at Livermore, who I knew, who broke ranks, became an anti-nuclear. Thank you to everybody. What an accomplishment. They're going to start tearing it down 40 years early. They're 40 years ahead of schedule, and that's with a 1 year delay, over a year delay on that fake scratch on the canister. These activists rolled in and sued. They're not activists. They were for the nuclear and trying to stop this. That's how they play. That's how they play. But they underestimated Kevin Blanche in my army. They underestimated me. They underestimated me because I was full of cancer, dying. And the angels they murdered. The radio roundup, Bear Monsanto, thrown in with some Fukushima. Fuck, you remember the hearing in San Clemente? Oh, we packed that house. We caught those fucking, remember when we snuck into San Onofre, Joni Ray and I? Got those videos to the media? You underestimated me in my little YouTube camera. They were afraid of prison. They had no intention to shut down. They threw up their hands out of nowhere because remember, Kevin Blunt, we have the goods, we have on them, we're with Anonymous, we have everybody, we're going to hit the beach on D-Day, and we're going to spill all these goods on D-Day. That morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I announced to the world, San Onofre threw up their hands because they knew if they didn't, was it a deal cut? Yep.